Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss the Old Crow brand and where it stands today in the first show of a two-parter. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, and our special guest, Von Nieters.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello. So it's just the three of us today, but we're going to do fine. We're going to be talking about Old Crow and that historic brand, and we're going to be this is a first of a two-parter. We're going to be talking about where Old Crow stands today. We're going to be, for the audience, if you're not in tune with Old Crow, we'll talk about what we see today. And then tomorrow on the show, we'll be talking about where we think Beam could take this brand if they wanted to do that. I don't know that they do. Probably they don't. Otherwise, they would. So we'll give our 2 cents, if you will. Before we get to all that, though, Von Nieters said there's something you want to talk about. What is that, sir?
Yeah, it's springtime. The weather's nice. There's a lot going on outside, and I was curious. I have a lot going on outside. I was curious if you guys have any outdoor projects you got going on at your guys' houses or anything.
Okay. I should have outdoor projects. I literally am. I could cut my own grass, and I'm struggling to do that these days. I've doubled up my time at the barrel shop, and then you'll be like, well, fine. There's still plenty of time to cut your grass, even though if you have to be at the store twice as many hours as you used to, or whatever it is. There's still time. I get it. And but the problem is, it's been raining so damn much. If I get any downtime, I guarantee it's been storming. I haven't been able to cut the grass. So, no, beyond just trying to cut grass, that's all I got going on outside. That's it. That's it for me. How about you, McNew?
We got a new deck last weekend, which was exciting.
Wow, that is exciting.
Ours was literally just falling apart. It was dangerous at the point. Yeah. So, Chris and our neighbor knocked it out in a weekend. It looks really nice. And we're getting one of those, what are they called? It's not a tent, but one of those cover things that go
an
over
awning?
the,
like an awning? Over?
Yeah. One of those is coming this week. So it's going to be a really nice outdoor space. And I'm very excited about
it. That's nice.
And then the pool's going up this weekend. So we got a lot going on.
Well, that's the fun outdoors type of projects. That's not like, I'm pulling weeds. You're going to put in a rock retaining wall or some shit.
Listen,
that's the fun stuff there.
Chris hates weed eating, and it pisses me off when he doesn't do it because it makes the yard look like shit. And I can't use our weed eater. It's just I don't get it.
That's just
he bought me an electric one, and he's like, all you gotta do is press the button. Fucking asshole. He's like, if you're gonna complain, you can do it. And I said, great, I will weed eat this yard.
Oh,
so
God.
I'm the proud owner of an electric weed eater. We'll see how this goes. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
What brand did you get? That matters.
It's red. It's a Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. You got a good one then. I have one of those. They're really nice.
Yeah. So he's very excited. I think he's thinking fail and stop complaining, but that's not an option. So I gotta figure this out.
You're not gonna do it.
Spice up my ankles or something. I don't know, but we'll see.
He called your bluff. That's the problem. Normally you're like, I'll do this. And then he just called your bluff and be like, oh, here you go. Here's the resources you need to be successful.
I know. He was just like, I'm going to go spend $300. So you shut the fuck up. Is what just happened to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, it got interesting. So
usually he just deals with me, but no, I told him I'd do it. Figure it out.
Be a whole new era here. Yeah.
Weed eating is messy. You get covered in grass and.
Oh yeah.
That's fine because I like power washing. I power washed our whole drive the other day, and that's messy. All that stuff.
We've heard about it 10 times, so we know you did.
Yeah. But no, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna figure out how to weed eat the.
Do you have grass cutting shoes? Because you need grass cutting shoes, and then also they're a catch-all that also encompasses weed eating. So
so I don't, but I have a pair that's pretty worn out because I've walked Saint in them for forever. So I think those are going to become the weed.
Are these like high heels? Because I like when I go out with McNew and she has high heels on it in the most inappropriate times and is complaining about her feet and shit.
They're just like Adidas tennis shoes that are just kind of worn out. And I can't even, I throw them in the washer to get them white again. They don't want to be white anymore. So I think they're going to be weed eating shoes. They're done.
Shoes.
Okay. Turn them green.
Yeah, just let them turn green. They turn green. There's no coming back once the weed eating / lawnmower shoes. They're done. They're going to be green until you decide just to dump them in the trash. Yeah.
Right.
That's the last stop. It's an honorable death for those things, though. I mean, you think about it. Yeah, some just get thrown to the trash. These at least get to work. They stay with you longer than they should. They get to work with you, and they do their best. Yeah.
I think that's how they want to go out, right? Like
I do too. I think it's the ultimate fortune. Yeah. They don't want to go out with gas in the tank. They want to go out. This is all I could give. I gave everything I could. Here I am. I'm green. I got holes in me. I'm a mess. It's just time. So.
And they get a decent amount of life out of them doing that because you mow once a week or once every 2 weeks or something. They last a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can squeeze a couple of years out of them.
Yeah.
It's good. It's real good. There you go. On that note, guess what? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with McNew this time. McNew, what do you got there?
I'm going to go with some Four Roses small batch.
Oh, that was excellent. Got to be tough to beat. They're going to be tough to beat. I got a special one here. Special from, if you see it, not too special, just regular Buffalo Trace. It is a barrel pick. It was done in New Orleans. We picked this in New Orleans. McNew was part of that pick. Becca, first time I met Becca, she was part of this pick. Whole crew. Jim brought that. This is a total wine pick. This is back when Jim worked there. So this is getting low, but one from that. So here we go. That was nice and bassy. That was a solid effort, but not going to be enough to overtake what McNew threw out there. So McNew has the lead. Von Nieters, you're next. What do you got?
Oh, I have a Boxing Bear 5. Probably not going to do much. Nope.
No, nothing. Third place. McNew wins. There you go, McNew.
I haven't had a win in a minute, so that's exciting.
There you go. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Old Crow. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
My name is Ryan Thompson. I'm a billionaire who buys stupid scotch, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today is part 1 of Old Crow.
Yes, we are. So Old Crow is a bottom shelf dweller. You can find it, for, $12, $10, $7 sometimes. You never know. It's a cheap one. It's a cheap one.
It is.
A historic brand. I mean, one of the oldest brands, maybe the oldest brand. Some say it's the start of branding. It starts even the word brand. Barrels used to be just generic barrels, nothing on them. And people, then realize the importance of, hey, if someone likes this whiskey that I'm making, if we put a call name on there, people will ask for it. And it was branded, though, because it was on a barrel. So you'd have to, heat up some sort of metal and brand it literally. And that would put, and they would brand Old Crow on there. And then that barrel would be sitting behind a bar with the barrel head on there, and people who liked it would ask for, that Old Crow brand. So it ends up being maybe the first brand ever, really, when you're talking about alcohol. And because we're talking about this is before bottles and stuff, so kind of a cool thing. And so it's this great historic brand that's tied into American history. Ulysses S. Grant, when he was a general, and he famously drank it. And then even in the early 1900s, all the way up to Prohibition, there was a lot of Old Crow advertising. Even after Prohibition, the 50s and even into the 60s, you see a lot of cool advertising pieces. If you're into collecting that kind of stuff, you're going to have some Old Crow stuff, because they were really a company that did a lot of that type of thing. And of course, it kind of all culminates in 1969 when they released the Old Crow Chessman set. And there are many people, including Fred Minnick, who I just heard say this again recently, the best whiskey he's ever had. And there's many other people that say that too, is 1969 Old Crow. So interesting. So that's just the historical perspective on the brand. Where do you guys see it at today? What do you think?
It's sad because it is a bottom dweller. I actually just went to look today because I knew we were doing the show, and I didn't want to buy it. But a handle was $18.
Yeah, a handle.
Sad.
It is. It is. Yeah. What do you think about it? Have you ever even tried it, Von Nieters?
I have not.
Yeah, I kind of figured you wouldn't. I mean, you're not that far into this game. And you started out drinking good stuff, so you don't typically then work backwards and be like, okay, I started out with all this great top high-end stuff. Yeah. I think I want to go back and explore the bottom shelf in that. It doesn't really happen.
Yeah, no, he didn't start on the bottom shelf like a lot of us.
No, a lot of us had to start and work our way up. Yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
But no, it's not even one that I would want to buy to put in a cocktail. Like there's just nothing there to it. Like it doesn't stand up in a cocktail. It's just like I'm going to feel real nasty if I drink that in the morning. Like it's just die on the bottom shelf, which is sad because it was such an iconic brand. It deserves better. But
yeah. So what leads to that is, National Distillers had the brand, so they buy the brand after Prohibition. It's their brand, and they have it until they go out of business. And Beam bought a lot of National Distiller stuff. Most of it, they had all the ones with like old in it. So they, at one point, all those belonged to Beam. And the one that they keep is Old Crow, and what works out well for them is everyone knows the name Old Crow. If you're a bourbon fan, you know the name Old Crow. And they're not going after the high-end market. They're not going after people who are even considering buying something as expensive as Jim Beam White Label. They're looking at the person who, is maybe, buys a bottle a day. I worked at Schnucks. There's people that come in every day and buy a bottle of booze. That's because they needed it. And, so they're looking at that sort of drinker. But they do have some brand loyalty because it's just easy for them. They come in, they want to buy their bottle and get on their way, so they buy the same thing. And there's still that name recognition and something you don't have to put any money into. Everyone knows it because their grandparents used to drink it, or they've seen stuff about it through history and things like that. So they don't have to put any money into it. It markets itself. So it allows them to take their off-profile stuff, or whatever you want to say, the barrels that they know they're not going to get a premium for, and get rid of them. It's almost like if you own a clothing company that becomes successful, you're not going to sell every shirt that you make. So what do you do with that? Well, you send it to Marshalls or TJ Maxx or something like that. It's kind of like an in-house Marshalls for them. It allows them to put the things that they're not selling anyway somewhere else. And really, and if they can even break even on their Old Crow, they're doing good, because that allows to put that inventory out there and then hopefully take that money and just put it back into production and make new stuff. So that's how Old Crow ends up where it's at today. So it sounds actually pretty important for Beam, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you see the merit of it, don't you?
Do you think it hurts in some sort of aspect, like people, like you were saying, somebody's grandparents drank it and their parents drank it, and then somebody that doesn't really know anything about whiskey, and they say, oh well, I know they used to drink it, and they go and try that. Do you think that it hurts the whiskey industry when they go and try that, and they think that's what all whiskey is? And then sure, I think it does. It doesn't help the industry for sure, but what are you going to do with that stuff? It's tough to move. Because not everything is going to be great. That's the bottom line. Not everything is great, and Beam has a reputation to protect too. And what they have to protect is that Jim Beam White Label. That's the bottle that's on every shelf. They're not being like, well, we'll mix in some of the stuff that's off profile, and if it messes up the flavor profile, it is what it is. We gotta sell this stuff. No, they're going to have to sell it, and can you sell it just on the open market? Yeah, but what's the premium going to be for something that, like you said, isn't that high end? So they're better off just trying to put it through a label. I think this is the rationale for that. I'm not a Beam spokesperson. They would have to come on and tell the story themselves. But I think they probably wouldn't want to tell that story. So I doubt they'd want to come on. I mean, they wouldn't be like, we put our off-profile stuff there, and it is what it is for those consumers. So I think you just have to find the person willing to spend $18 on a handle, or $8 on a 750, and they're not too discriminating about what the whiskey tastes like. I don't think that becomes the issue. Yeah. And again, you're looking, break even is perfection on a brand like this, I think.
Yeah, I think it's people who are just real down bad, and they don't really care what it tastes like. They just don't want vodka. So they're
right. Exactly. Yeah, and it still has a little cachet. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe when I'm homeless and in Key West, that'll be my drink of choice. I'll have Old Crow, and I'll feel kind of cool because I'll know the history of it. I'll be telling people about the historical part, and I'll just try not to twitch as I take a drink, because it's not going to be that good.
So, there's a plus side on this. So, once you finish a handle and need another one, you can keep that bottle and refill it with water. So you're going to be well hydrated with your.
You're going to be hydrated. Sure.
Going to be fine.
There you go.
Yeah. So this leads us up to what's going to be on the show tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about ideas that we'd like to do with Old Crow. How could we make this a cool brand once again? How could we bring this thing back? You think that there's no hope for it, but then you see what Beam has done with Old Overholt, and they're doing some cool things with Old Overholt right now. So it's turning back into a solid whiskey, something that you might want to seek out. And we're going to talk about what we think they could do to make Old Crow a similar success story. So we'll wrap this one up, though, by talking about where people can find us. Von Nieters, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Von Nieters.
All right, McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. You want to check that out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. You never know what's happening in there. Von Nieters drops in today. We record a podcast. You guys, of course, listen to this. You know that. You heard it drop on Friday. Great episode. You heard a new guy getting all nervous and stuff. We're asking him for dating tips. I was taking notes. Yeah, he was a player back in the day. He's dropping some knowledge there. So, yeah.
He pulled KK. I'm sure he's got some skills.
Exactly. He must have skills. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. He got his Kate Upton. That's the bottom line. That's his Kate Upton. He got her. He got Kate Upton. So congratulations to him. And hopefully he wasn't. Von Nieters, what you have to hope is when you get a guy like that, a guy who's a bona fide player, a guy who knows how to treat the ladies, knows how to go after something he wants and get it. Is he giving you the real scoop, or is he just trying to throw you some information that maybe isn't really how you do it? Because if KK would happen to drop him, he's got to be out there again, and he maybe doesn't want to give up all his secrets, right? I mean,
hey, yeah, he might have been holding back. I don't know. You
got to proceed with caution. If you heard that show, you got to proceed with caution. Yeah, he's certainly one of the all-time greats, but yeah, you just never know what he was giving you. So there you go. Well, we'll wrap this one up though by talking about where people can find us. McNew, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV. I think we already did this.
Oh, yeah. I meant anything else to say before we get out of here? I think I said the wrong thing. I mean, that's half on me, half on you for not knowing the show. For not knowing the show and actually just doing the right thing. It's like the time. Get this, Von Nieters. So McNew starts and her first shows, and everything's copy and paste, and sometimes I fuck up, as we know. And in the show, it said Renee, who was podcasting, she was on the Bourbon Daily at the time, and it says Renee brings us back from break. Well, it's supposed to say McNew brings us back from break. So we come back from break, and there's McNew just standing there. We go to break, and then she's just standing. She's like, when is Renee bringing it back? I'm like, Renee's not on this podcast. That's you. You're the announcer. You're like, it said Renee.
This is very much an Anchorman situation. I see what is in front of me.
Right.
But I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.